Hello guys, so in this video we wanted to show you the basics of Shapelab, starting with navigation, basic operation and the contents of the option menu. First of all, what you're going to see is the two controllers, each with a different layout. One of them is going to be your palette and the other one you're sculpting in. You can change the hand dominance by pressing the options button on your left controller. You can see the first option here is hand dominance. By pointing and pulling the right trigger you can switch it to your liking. I'm going to leave it on right though, because I'm right-handed. Pointing and pulling the right trigger, or your dominant hand's trigger, is always going to be selecting or clicking, by the way. Let's just stay at the options menu for now. The next thing you can see is the cursor opacity. I personally like it as visible as it can get, so I could always see the size of my tool. But you can get it down to almost invisible if you want. To present the next option, I'm going to quickly create a hole on the surface of this sphere. So if Backface rendering is turned off, you're going to see through the mesh while it has a hole in it, but turning it on renders the inside of the mesh as well. Next up, you can see the desktop image quality, which affects how Shapelab is displayed on your screen. You won't be able to see the difference inside your VR headset, instead it changes on your desktop and your recordings, for example. The HD setting has a bigger field of view as well as a higher resolution, and that's why it's preferable for recording. The last panel of the first tab controls the visibility of guides in edit and sculpt mode, the first being the active objects that shows which objects you can work on in edit mode. You can change the active objects in scene mode. Trigger scene mode by pulling the left thumbstick up and the edit mode by pulling it down. You can see that the inactive object is darker right now. The second option is the visibility of the symmetry plane when symmetry is turned on. I like to keep it on personally. The third one is the visibility of the object's bounding box and pivot. And the fourth one is basically for showing the object's coordinate space. The second tab of the options menu functions as a camera that you can take screenshots with. The third tab is for choosing an environment. On the fourth, you can learn about controls and shortcuts. And the fifth one is for showing the version number. Now I'm going to go back to edit mode and show you the basics of navigation there. So the starting mesh is always going to be a sphere. You can grab the mesh and put it anywhere you want by holding down the secondary trigger on your controller. For more information on different layouts of VR controllers, you can check out our user guide on our website. I'm going to link it below. So holding one of the secondary triggers means moving, but holding both secondary triggers is going to scale the mesh. If your cursor touches the mesh, you're going to be able to sculpt by holding the right main trigger. So thank you guys, that's it for this video, and in the next one we are going to continue with all of the brushes in edit mode.